Hey everyone, welcome back to this next video in our series designing this Lotus Yoga app. Our last video, that one got cut off, had some computer technical difficulties, but we were very close. I was watching it and we were in the thick of it right as it cut out. Boy, did we make some great progress in that last one. And so we're going to take this video now and wrap things up. Uh, right when it cut off, here's what we were doing. We were looking at this page, and when we clicked the all button, it didn't display that repeating group. And so I figured out what the deal was. It was just something small. That repeating group was a copy of this one. It has this condition on it that says only display things when only display things which equal the value of our filter. So what does that mean? Only display things. Here's an example. Only display beach when beach is clicked. Only display vertical when vertical is clicked. Only display all when all is clicked. Well, okay, it is fixed, but I wanted to explain at the end of the last video, if you recall, that it didn't work. Again, like I just said, only display beach when beach is selected is the kind of the command here for this category. Well, we're looking at a list of classes that has the category. So when we say only display beach, it's like, oh, okay, I will go and I will only display these beach ones. And when we hit all, there is none that are all, right? So that was our hang up last time. So you'll notice that when I click this in the category repeating group, it has this condition. And now if I click over to the all one, we click in here, it does not. So actually, I'm going to go ahead and maybe sort by title as well. That'll put us alphabetically displaying the classes. So my goal in this moment is to get you caught up from when that last video stopped. And that is point one for getting y'all caught up, was this condition. The other point is that when I did get that working, and you clicked all, it's all is a lot. It's like all of the classes, right? It's a lot bigger list than beach or acro yoga, for example. These ones only have 4 classes. This one has a ton, all of them. And so what the challenge that I found is that, okay, great, it displays all of them, and look how long this screen is, right? This is the point I'm making. And then when you click over to beach, like it actually, the screen was that long as well, and you could just keep on scrolling. So that was fixed by adding this group, and I'll show off the dimensions here. I just put it onto the page, made it slightly bigger. If you'll notice these blue lines that outline the elements on the page. So what exactly is that? So you can follow along and get your backend exactly the same as mine if you're following along. 293, 301, 13, and 133. Now this one has a conditional to only be displayed when the filter selected thing is all. And if you'll recall here, when the page is loaded, we actually set that state as also, like it's kind of defaulting to be visible. But so both of these have this. So now I'm in the repeating group and we're looking at this conditional, and then now I'm in the group here and we're looking at this conditional, right? So just the same one applied to both. And other thing to notice, why this group? Why am I even explaining this in the first place? Well, the repeating group, it does not have this same little option right here of collapse this element's height when hidden. So that was the issue. So now that that is wrapped in that group and we have it set up this way, and we click away from here, that filter thing is filter selected. That state, the value of that is now beach, right? It's not all. So that means this thing is hidden. And so when this thing is hidden, we get the magical thing that we want. Collapse this element's height when hidden. So That is my goal, to get you caught up for this video. And then there is one other thing that I want to take care of, and that is when you click these, have them go to the actual class, similar to how it works on the homepage. But there is something new we must consider in this scenario that we have not considered before. I almost introduced it in a prior video, but I wanted to wait until now because it's another one of these state variables, right? So like we store data in the database that is makes sense. Like the title of this is stored in the database, the picture is stored in the database, but when someone is using the app, it's useful to store information about the state of the page. So the state, like that, little value that we have that changes these things, that one's just kind of like in free flow. It's not in the database, right? It's just assigned to the this group, this classes group has it tied to it, and we did that through a workflow action. Like, what is this thing? How is it created? It is created through a workflow action where we say that is one of the actions I'll show here. So element actions, set state. So that is kind of what I'm talking about. We set a state. That is how this thing that I'm describing comes into existence. If we're trying to really get descriptive, or come at this from a few different angles, so that hopefully it makes sense as you're listening to this. So we set this state that was tied to this classes group. We gave that state a name, and then we gave it a value as well. So why am I talking about this? Well, here's the scenario we want to have happen. When we click on, let's bounce to Vinyasa, because we have those pages created. We have these pages for this one, for flow, etc. I had reloaded the app, so these images are taking a second to reload. There's some work that could be done, like when you finish an app like this and before you release it, to come and make some of those transitions that we're looking at right now a little bit smoother. I'm not going to worry about that at this point, but the point I want to make here is, look, we're on the home page, and when we click further Vinyasa, we want to go back to the place that we clicked it from. But if we are on the classes page and we click further Vinyasa, and then we show up on this page, we want it to go back to here, not to the home page. Whereas right now, this button, it's defined in the button to go back to the home page. I hope this is making sense. So this is what we're going to tackle right now. And I wrote down on a notepad how I was going to do it, and so I'm going to try and go off of memory here. But here is, let's think out loud for a second, if you will, with me. The states, I guess, will be kind of like, where did we come from? Well, we came from the classes page. We're on the classes page, so we could define that state when this class is clicked on the bottom menu, or when the home button is clicked. Now, whatever this state that would be, it would change and update, so that when I hit this back button, that state is like, oh, we're on the home page. I will go back to the home page. This one is, oh, I'm on the classes page. I will go back to the classes page. Now, I'm not sure if, like, for example, we click back, would we show up to this Vinyasa with this exactly like this, and this thing scrolled over? I do not know. That'll be something separate we'll tackle, to be honest. Haven't thought that far ahead. So, but, right, like, when is it that, when you're building something, you think further ahead, that you just go and you do it and you figure it out, you kind of build the parachute as you're, on your way down, as it were. This is at least the motto of moving quickly with the no code world of building out products. So that being said, let's think. When the page is loaded, I would like to set a state on the mobile course. This is like the highest level thing. So if I close on our elements tree here on the left side, we've got these various pages, right? But those pages they're all in this kind of like upper high level thing, mobile course. So what I want to do is set the custom state, create a new custom state of we're going from the class previews page. Just trying to think if there's any other, if we'll be doing this more than once, if I want to take the name of it and have it something that would work with any other future things for navigational purposes. What I will do is I'll just say preview I'm just going to call it back to page. Because when we're on a video and we go back, we always go back to the class preview page. That's just, a given. So, and then we'll go back from that class, the preview page, the one with the vertical portrait oriented picture. Yes. So, okay, this is what we want to do. So we will say that is a text. So back to, I'm going to say a main page, which is one of those 4 that we're working with. So back to the main page, home. Yes. Yes, that is what we want because we start off our app on the home page. So now I want to add some things to our menu here. So when this classes one is clicked, we've got some things going. We've got like scroll to 0, go to the mobile page. The go to page thing is usually something to always have as the last thing. So I'm going to, set the state, which now it always shows up here. We created it before. It knows it's there. And now we're going to define a value of classes. I'm going to copy this. And when the plans button is clicked, paste this. Plans. Okay. I do like having, well, I'll do that after. I like having that scroll thing that goes back up to the top, I think. Yeah, I do for the menu navigation. Okay. So when the home one is clicked, set it as home. This is if we were to have moved and then we come back. And then do this for library. Okay. So library, plans, home, classes, that covers all of our bases. And then I'll just add this to reset us to the top of the page. the user really never thinks about these types of things. But if you drop someone into some place that's like, I don't know, not where they're super familiar with how, no, we're trying to follow convention is what I'm saying. And in most apps, when you get to and arrive to some spot, your scroll position starts off kind of like top left, like a book, unless I think somewhere in Asia there are countries that do not start top left. Okay, fun fact. So what have we accomplished? We have a state that gets set when we're clicking around, and so where are we using that? We're using that on this back button. So I'm going to give this a better name. This is the class preview page back button. Okay. What happens when we click that? Well, right now it's just like go to this one, but we don't want to do that, do we? We want to we could set this as a conditional, like go to home only when what was the name of that thing? What was the name of that state? Back to. So there's two ways that I have in mind, and I'm gonna make one that's more elegant, and it will require a little bit of change, but it'll be cool. You'll see. So this back to main. So I'm looking for, what one was I on? Something that has the word back in it. This one. Okay, so I can say only go home when, oh guys, my short-term memory. Do not get a head injury. I had one last year. It's not fun. Back to main page, so that's what I'm looking for. Back to main page. Okay. You could do this with back only when, okay, yeah. So there's mobile courses. This value is home, right? So go to the home page, go back to the home page only when that value is home. But here's actually a little bit better way, because then we don't have to create like 4 of these. So I'm going to clear the expression. Well, whatever. I guess we'll have to edit a few of these. Okay. So the state, I want this state, I want it to match this navigation parameter here. So classes, I want this to say classes. Cool. Home. Also note, I should update this one to be set to home. These things just have to be exactly matching, because we're still negotiating in how well computers will understand us humans, and they're getting better, but still needing some exact clarity. So library, yep. That is, clarity is the exactness of having these values be character by character. Okay, character by character exact. So check this. Now we say when this back button is clicked, this one, we say go to mobile courses, that value. So the value of that, yeah, the value for this will be home if we had navigated. So when we navigate into here from the home page, the state will be set to home, and when we click the back thing, it'll take us home. I'm going to reload this just so we try and get everything straight. So, and then if we had navigated from the classes page, this state will be set as classes page, and this nav thing will automatically be set up to send us back there. So, isn't that cool? Now, what do we have happening on this homepage when this is clicked? We say display the current cells. Yep. So we want, I copied that workflow thing. If you hadn't seen that click. And we'll get into this classes page. And remember, we've got two groups that we're dealing with here now. So we have to repeat our action a little bit. So on this photo, when image D is clicked, we say I want something better than image D. I want something from, I want to say vertical image classes page category. In the, yes. And then if I go to this one, this is all. So let's just work with this one for now. Hello. Oh, okay. Take that whole group away. So we have that. And then we also want to, copy this. So this is this workflow item that we're in right now is when this top row home image is clicked. So we want that exact same action to happen when this is clicked. And then we've got this vertical one that is for the category. And we've got this vertical one that is for the all. And I want to copy this. Vertical, vertical. It's easy to find when you know what your things are named. And so what we're hoping to have happen here now is when the images are clicked on the classes page, that when we hit back, that we go to the preview page only for the further vinyasa, flowing spirits, and more about asanas, but that we should, we might not show up at the vinyasas, the vinyasas. We should just show up back at the classes pages. So let's confirm this. We click here, we click back. Click here, click back. Now on the classes page, we scroll down to more about asanas. We click here. Interesting. Notice how we were scroll down, and then we click back, and we're taken here. Okay, so we got something to work on. Further vinyasa. Click back. When this is clicked, when the classes button is clicked, this state of back to main page is set as classes. When this is clicked, what is it doing? It's saying go to the mobile course where the nav equals. So why isn't the value of back? There's this weird click thing. I wonder. I'm just going to do this for all of these. There's two of them actually. And see something. I don't think that's doing anything, but it's just something that's off slightly. Like those ones all have it and the other ones don't, if you know what I mean. Yeah, and it navigates just fine. So right now at this point, that value of the state should be classes. And when we click this, okay, so there's something cool that we can do. Version test nav home. We're going to put in this debug equals true. Now this is what the page looks like because I have something special on with Google Developer Tools that pulls this stuff up. But if I close out of that, notice this is what we'd this is how it'd look if we were on an iPad. Okay, so let's inspect some things. This is great, by the way, that we're getting to see this. Stop. I want to go slow. Inspect. Actually, I'm going to go step by step. And here's what happens. So I hit the classes one, and okay, that's a floating menu group. In the mobile course. Okay, here's this custom state. It's set as home. When I click classes, stop, slow, inspect. Wait, okay. So wait, what I want to have happen is I click classes. Okay, now this is what I was trying to get. Yeah, so there, see how, okay, I have this on run slow. It's working through those workflows. And then now it returns us to here. So now I'm expecting this to say, this back to main page. Okay, so stop. I want to go step by step. Home. All right, so something's happening here. And we're set to step by step. I click classes. All right, now we're in debugger mode. Here's what's happening. Here is the workflow that we get to see, and this is really cool. I'm really happy to show this off for all of you to see. We hit run next. So when that classes button's clicked, this is what's happening. When this menu button is clicked, that workflow is being engaged. The scroll to mobile course is offset to 0. It's bringing us up. Run next. It's setting the state to the mobile course custom state back to a main page, setting that to classes. Run next. It is, and that's the step that that's supposed to be working. It says that is what it's doing. Now it is saying go to the page mobile courses, which is our page, where the key for nav is classes. Cool. Now notice up here, this nav has changed to classes. And remember, when this nav equals classes, these groups show and hide based on that, those conditionals that we made, just to tie this all together. This is, I know that we're in the midst of troubleshooting something, but we're also learning a heck of a ton about, so remember, this home one has this conditional on it when nav is home. We are on the classes page where the time to watch some basketball. Where the nav is equal to classes. So when we look back here, this nav is equal to classes. If I were to type in home, it would actually change it. Okay. Now this is where I'm still confused. The page is loaded. Oh, okay. Got it. So what is happening is, okay, this is interesting. Because I'm navigating by loading the page again, it is resetting. Shoot, I wish I could click back. It actually reset that value. So it set it to the one I wanted, and then it set it to the one that I don't want. So yeah, okay. So wait, it's going through this when the page is loaded. Set the state to home. So this is what messed it up. So the question is, how do I navigate by going to the page I think I want this to, the value of this to be get data from the URL nav parameter named nav. So what I just set there is that when this workflow is run, so that this workflow page is loaded, you know, the mistake in my thinking was that I thought this only ran once when the app is first loaded. This way of navigating, of go to the page, and then this navigation based upon these query string parameters, they actually run this workflow again. Interesting. So that means every time we click the classes, even if we were on Vinyasa or Beach, if we leave it and then come back, it'll always go back to all, which could be annoying if that actually takes a while to load. That's something for further consideration, not for this moment. So let's find out if this get nav evaluates to a text. Okay. So the page is loaded. Watch this. So we're on the nav equals classes. So run next. it sets this thing for the classes page, that category thing. Now this value is classes. Cool. So the value of this is classes because we're on the classes page. If we go to the home page, run next, we have set this to home. Actually, let's check this out. Okay, yeah, so it runs this workflow. Page is loaded. Wow, it runs this workflow every time. That's not that nice. And then it sets this to home. So, and we can confirm that. Inspect. Okay, so we can confirm that by looking here at the mobile course. Here are the values. Home. Let's go to plans. Stop. All right. So now let's inspect this plans page. What happened to this mobile course thing? This value is set for plans. So what we do know is that this thing here, to set this value, get nav from page URL, does set this to whatever is located in this parameter. So I bet you probably didn't know. Maybe you did. Maybe you are a rock star. But to know that this is how developers, manage data in the background with all these things. When you're on Amazon and there's a billion of these little things, query string parameters is what they're called. But all that's fun and nice. But does it really work? So here we are in the app. It's lagging a little. Okay. Boy, that is a long button push. Now, it might be a thing. I just wonder how. If it's my computer that is slow, I'm recording video through the camera, through the screen, and through many things. My computer is like 2014, so I don't know if it is slow because of that or because something else. But basically, yeah, what is going on, bro? Everything's running super slow right now. This little green progress bar or something. Okay, cool. Well, so this video, we have jumped, what have we done? We've jumped into the last video's ending, and we finished off these groups in the classes page, right? To show getting those exactly right. Now, next we turned our attention to what happens when you click on these. Remember, this one does not have an image. Only those vinyasa ones do. I'm going to close this. Maybe this is leave. I don't know what's slowing us down here. Go away. Please. I think that's all I can take off. Okay, I'm going to just refresh this whole thing. And then retake a look at the workflow of hitting this back button. And then I think that'll be it. Yeah, goodness, all this is saying is go to the nav of this. That's it. This is just a state. This is super lightweight. This is not accessing the database. So there's something else that is happening. Now, okay, I'm running this app on, today's a Saturday. I'm running this app on the same platform that runs an app that I have built out there with like 60,000 users. So not all active, but sometimes, I don't know, they could be using up all my bandwidth. Jerks. I don't think that's the case. I think something's wrong because we can click around really fast here. Hold up. Bring this to the front. Oh, you know what? Wait. This nav is class preview. Did something happen where is the value of this class preview and it's like I have no idea where you want me to go? Let's take a look at that. That shouldn't happen because we only set this state on the menu button clicks. We do not set it when this is clicked. We say display data, go to class preview, the nav is equal to this. Oh, this is okay. Yeah. This is what is happening. It goes to the page, it reloads, and it sets this nav. All right. Holy buckets. My apologies, folks. We took a roundabout. We went for like a 4 or 5 or 10 walk block, and we ended up back at the same spot. This happens. Here is what we're going to do. I tried to get fancy I tried to get elegant by setting this state from the page nav. I'm going to set this to Okay, I'm only going to do this when Yes, okay. Only do this when get nav is home, or the nav is you know what? I actually didn't walk around 5 blocks and end up at the same spot. This is what we wanted. We just teleported. This is the real story. Teleported very fastly from a non-working solution to a working solution. So home, classes, library. Or what is our last page? I don't know. How should I know? I'm just the guy building the app. Library. We already did library. Plans. That's the missing one. Is plans. Okay, cool. So does that make sense? I hope so. It's gonna this workflow only runs kind of want this one to only run once. Like I only want this to run when the value is empty. Oh yeah, okay. So I say only when classes, groups, filter selected is empty. Then run this. Yeah, that's what I want. And then I only want to set this one when we're on the home page classes, library, or plans. What I do not want to have happen is that we click, show you quick, you click this image, right? Well, when we click this image, what is it doing? It's displaying that, and then it's going to the mobile course. The mobile course. It's going to our page with the navigation as class preview. So it's hiding everything else, showing class preview. This is just a characteristic of our navigational setup that we must deal with. So what am I saying? That when that image is clicked, this data is displayed into the class preview page so that it can find know which class we're working with. And you guys are doing great for following along this super, super heady stuff, because my brain feels like a little mushy. But I hope this is making sense, that when we click that image, we go to the class preview page using this nav value. We've set the nav value here. Now, that nav value is going to load the page, and it will not take class preview and put it into here, because class preview, we didn't set that up as the conditional. Class preview doesn't satisfy this condition. Only the home classes library plans does. So enough chitter chatter. Let's see if this thing actually works like we expect it to. So let's get to the home page. Click on our thing. Click back. We're at the home page again. Great. On our classes page. This was a great, great video. I'm very excited for things to go not exactly how you plan them, because boom, back to the classes page. Because when things don't go as planned, all that means is that you're working as a programmer in your day-to-day life. That's really all that means. Okay, so cool. Check that. That's hot. I would like for, okay, so we're scrolled down there. Now we're scrolling back up. What is that an aspect of? It is the vertical images. When the vertical ones are clicked, we display the data, and we scroll up to the top. First I want to display the data, because that could take a moment. Then scroll to the top. And so while it's doing the scroll operation, we're giving it like a millisecond to get the data into there, and we're kind of helping the computer load potentially faster, is all I'm trying to say. So what did I just do? Well, I just made it so that if we're scrolled down on this screen right here and we click that, we don't we're not scrolled down when we look into that preview page. We're actually at the top of that. So if you remember a few minutes ago, we click this because we're scrolled down here. And see, now we're at the top of this page rather than starting the page here. So that was the effort there. And clicking that back button, of course, when the page is loaded, not sure exactly why. If I were to be slightly down here. Oh yeah, I'm slightly down there. Okay, that's just the aspect of it. And note that if I'm down here, we could add something that records this scroll position, like almost ongoing. And I could be like, all right, I'm in the classes page. I'm in the all group or whatever. That might not even be necessary. I think it just stays on all, or look, it stays on vinyasa when we come back. But the point I was trying to make here is that notice that here, when we hit flowing into the splits, we're brought back up here. And then when I click back, we're still on the all one, but we're not at the scroll position of looking here. So if somebody was scrolling through and looking, like, and wanted to go vertical too, and then like wanted to be back down where they were looking and not restart that every time, I think that actually is a worthy thing to add. In this moment, that is not a feature that I will work into here. For brevity's sake, we are using a lot of time, a lot of hours to build this out. We're only halfway through, and if you have made it this far, you could probably feel, as I do, that, oh my gosh, this course is like long. So thank you for joining on this journey of this next video to finish off our classes page. I'd say we're good. We can feel good about this. I might go ahead and before the next video, reload, just load in some pictures that make everything look a little bit nicer here. So they're not all stretched out, and give those their own in the database. I don't think that's totally necessary. If you have listened to make it this far, you know exactly how to do that. You know that you just add another field into the database, you fill in those things, and you fill in those fields of an image, and then you just add images to all the classes with these proper dimensions. So thank you. If you found value in this, please do support me by subscribing, liking this video, and I will see you all in the next video. Thanks.